Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome to a fine Thursday evening, or whatever happens to be in your time zone. I'm SLdr Cody, and I'm Cody. Hello, everybody. So, today we're going to be doing our usual weather talk, and then we're going to be messing around with the bot a bit. We're going to see what the heck... You know, I said I was going to do something yesterday with the bot, and what was it? It was something that would only take, like, less than 5 minutes to implement? I don't even remember what the heck I was talking about yesterday. And I haven't gotten to edit in my stream of yesterday, because it's basically right off the bed after the stream is over. But yeah, welcome on in, everybody. Congrats on getting first Omega. Congrats on getting second Aqua. Also maintaining that 97.7% on 42 sessions. Pretty impressive. Sponge Violet, welcome on in. Good to see you as well. And welcome on in to anybody else who may have arrived here on a lurk. Also, hold on. I forgot. I forgot to open something that I'm supposed to have open. Yeah, probably a good idea to have that open as well. Might help things function correctly. Okay. All right. So, nobody really mentioned it, but the stats page was a little outdated. It stopped updating at a point. It's because the FTP program that I use, unfortunately, every once in a while, whenever it sees fit, it will... Actually, you know, I think that might be the site that I'm using as a web host. Changes their certificate every once in a while, and when they change their certificate, it always breaks a script or two and causes things to not update. So, yeah, that's all fixed now. Keep the certificate the same, for Pete's sakes. Alright, but yeah. That's all functioning now, and hopefully I'll have something to show for it. Hold on. Which window is it? It's this window, I think. And then I go over here, and... because we did just hit on the hour here, so we might actually see some of those updates reflected. So let me just see if I can pop it up, and maybe we'll actually... Yep, we have updated statistics. Now you look at that. We finally have updated statistics. How are you? I'm doing decent today. Well, better than yesterday. Getting things done. Of course, stream yesterday was still pretty awesome. And today, yeah, we're just going to be chill. We're going to be doing some bot stuff for the most part. Maybe I'll sneak in a random game. Oh, we don't need that on here, do we? I had that on this scene because I was showing you pictures of the Northern Lights yesterday. And, you know, the whole prevent the AI from stealing people's pictures and all that stuff. Because I know Twitch itself doesn't have AI that, like, scrapes things and all that, but you got these, like, ingenuine accounts, and they're probably doing that to people's streams, so... I'm a little protective over the pictures I take and, like, my characters and all of that. In that, I don't want any, like, AI touching that. No offense, AI, but unfortunately, a lot of your owners are using you in malicious ways. Just figuring out who I'm going to cosplay as next time I go to a con again. That does take quite a bit of planning. There's so many choices. And the majority of those choices are usually complicated in more than one way. Oh, definitely something to put a lot of thinking on. You have food now? Heck yes. I might take a BRB partway through stream to retrieve food myself. I didn't have much of a window for eating, so I just snacked to upkeep myself for the time being. But might sneak a little bit of a food break in the middle of the stream here, especially if I have to do any big brain stuff on Firebot, because brain power is one of the biggest energy consumers out of all the functions that we go through. Running burns a lot of calories, but guess what? Okay. I'm not sure if the brain power directly links to burning of calories, but it does use a lot of energy. Which is why, after you've been to like a big social event and that, you feel very fatigued. It's because that takes a lot of brain power. Not to mention, it takes a lot of spoons. My goodness. But, yeah. So, we finally have the statistics page working again. It broke early November because the certificate rotated out. And every time the certificate rotates out, I have to tell the script to use the new certificate. Oh my goodness, you have reached a 10 streak, Sponge Violet. Oh my goodness, enjoy those extra 450 silver pieces. This is the main reason why I keep the streaks around, is because you get bonus silver pieces. Now, streaks are also notably more reliable now that Twitch has rolled out the 1.0 version, the non-beta. And eventually Firebot will have them in. I think right now they're waiting for Twitch's API to have functions involving a streak. So like they're waiting on Twitch right now. Twitch needs updated API documentation so that they can get it implemented. I'm not sure if it's changed from... Maybe Twitch has updated it since then. That's one thing Twitch is usually all right with. They're usually reasonable in updating their API and all that stuff for like developer side. Unlike the streamer side, which Twitch often demonstrates they don't care about. So, yeah. Yeah. If you stream, keep your viewer count off. It rarely works properly. I look at the averages afterwards, but I am also somebody who likes looking at statistics, so it's a statistics thing. Current 3 options for future cosplay include Nenene or Yokimo. Wow, I placed the K in the wrong place. Yomiko, there we go. Both from a very old anime called Read and Die. Read or die. Wow. Should I really be working on the bot if I'm confusing the word or and? I don't know. There's like... When you're working on logical stuff and you confuse or and, that's not a good sign. Or Elena from Wandering Witch. Ah. Difficult choices. Current move 3 options... From Tush. It inserted Tush into one spot, and it wasn't even a very good spot. Come on, Sectoral Captain. If you're going to buttify a message, you need to choose the right words. Like, that's... Well, try again, Sectoral Captain. Jeez. I would say it tried, but that was a pretty weak try right there. I have fixed the statistics page. It now displays stuff. Of course, you're not going to know the stats from the past week here because it wasn't working for close to a week. Actually, funny enough, my weather website stopped updating at a point too, and that was because of the same issue, because of the stupid certificate thing. So, yeah, whenever the host plays around with their certificates, I have to go and update all of the scripts and tell them use this. Recently came across an urban plan and transit advocate who described Via Rail as all the stresses of flying while being slower than driving. I mean, no. When you're flying, you're up in the air. Also, before you're flying, you're treated like you're guilty before you're even, committed of doing anything. Okay, there is a good degree of rail security. It's still not nearly as strict as air security. Like, no. I'd like to think that there's less stress on the rail. Well, I mean, if you're the train engineer, then there is a lot of pressure on you because you've got well over 100 rules that you're following. But like, as a passenger, it's pretty chill. I mean, financially, perhaps there's a lot of stress because it's definitely not a cheap endeavor. Omega with a 43, keeping up that 100%, that is so difficult to maintain. I mean, again, it is difficult hitting the 80% mark, let alone keeping a 100. It's also difficult hitting the 200% mark, but I can assure you, unless you're one of the people who were interacting here back when we had that weird bug with incorrect metadata, you're probably not going to see a 200%. Yeah, Twitch is throwing me off. Oh my goodness. But yeah, here we are. We've got 7 mushrooms used, 2 triple mushrooms, 1 golden mushroom. Golden mushroom is huge boost. I can't assign it to be a continuous boost for a certain period of time like a golden mushroom actually is. But I could just make it a big time boost. Banana peels. Green shells. 1 star. 4 blue shells. Okay, first place had a bit of a challenge there. Oh, lightning rolled, the bullet bill rolled. We had 50 Kristas. Technically, it was like probably more like 40. 111 sound clips played. Now, keep in mind, every time a thunder clip plays during the thunderstorm redeem, that also increases this counter. So you could say this number is never going to be less than the thunder value. We had a red button. We had a couple of Krista hugs. Lucky you. Whenever somebody does or rolls a Krista hug, the sectoral leader gets out of the way. He doesn't really. He's not really the sort to is open to hugs. Like, I mean, like, you could run at him, try to hug him, but he'll probably be not actually be located there. He'll probably be in a different location. So, you'll try to hug him, but you'll find out that he's not actually there. He's actually on the other side. Four jump scares. I'm pretty sure all of those were from delayed jump scares. Had a bonk as well. Top 10 should be fixed now too. I mean, this one almost never changes right here. This one with the gold pieces. Oh my goodness, look at that. We've had hugs. We almost have all 10 places occupied in the top hugs now. And again, the number's not exactly very big. It's pretty easy to climb up here if you're hugging. If you go on hugging people. Why is it Krista? Oh, it's because Krista usually lurks. Krista's usually a lurker. That's why. We already went over the updates yesterday, so we don't have to worry about that. So what the heck was I even going to be doing on the bot today? I said I was going to do something yesterday, and then I did not put it on my task list, which resulted in me forgetting about it. I think it was something related to commands? Something related to... Oi. Something related to commands. Was I going to change something into preset, maybe? I think that's what the title says. Here I go, forgetting what I was going to do. Bot stuff. It just says bot stuff on the title. Like, that's not helpful. That doesn't tell me nothing. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I think it's a statistic I can add to people. I think that's what we were going to go over. Something about adding statistics. Oh! Aha! Got it. Okay, so. How many times somebody has claimed first place? A tracker for it. And you know what? While we're at it, a second and a third tracker as well. Okay, so. That is found here then. That is found here. Now, this is a very complicated... This is like first, second, and third. Right now it says third. But that changes depending on what positions are available, etc., etc. Yeah, see, it's like a limit of 3, 1 per user. Because I have it set it up this way, the same person cannot claim for more than one position. So it prevents us from having a scenario where somebody gets first and second at the same time. Because let's face it, that's not how it works in Mario Kart. That's not how it works in most racing games. You'd have to like cross the finish line at the exact same time, and even then, you just share the position with the other person. It's not the same person got second and third at the same time. It'd be like multiple people got second place or something like that. Anyway, so I go into conditional effects, and under the branch down here. Okay, so places claimed will still go up by 1. Update channel reward will still be happening. But also, we're looking for... hold on, I'm just going to type in meta, and that should, with 1A, set user metadata. And we're just going to do the username variable, because it's whoever activated this. That's who we want with this. And I think we're gonna call this metadata key first claimed. And down here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go math. Was there an alias for metadata? I don't remember. I think that's one of the newer ones that was added, so I'm still not familiar with it yet. Well, either way, we can also just go user metadata. And then in here, we go first claimed. If you're ever wondering how to format the variables, you click on the little var button, and let's say we're looking for user metadata. I'll just type in meta again, because eventually you find it right here. User metadata. Then we go username metadata key. You can also add the little plus button to just add the entire thing to the text field. I've got to put the user in first. It doesn't matter whether it's a user display name or username at this particular point, because we're not going to see what it's outputting. And then right over here is going to be first claimed, this name. We're going to be using that. So we're putting what we're setting right into here because we want to interact with the existing value. If there isn't an existing value, it'll just pull a value of 0, and then you can add from 0. Okay, and don't forget your square bracket to close things. Your close and square bracket, or your right square bracket. That'll close the user metadata area. However, we still have the math one open. While the math one is open, we're going to add +1. Then we're going to do another close to close the math statement. So now what it's going to do is your first claim here. Let's say that it's never ever been set. What's going to happen is it's going to set it to this value. But first of all, we're going to retrieve user metadata from the username, the person who activated this redeem. And it's going to be the first claimed, the same as this one. However, it's running this first, and this doesn't exist. So what's going to happen is this string right here is going to return a 0, because that's what Firebot defaults to if something isn't set. So math is going to go 0 plus 1, which is 1. So this entire thing is going to return a 1. It's going to be set to first claimed, and it's going to be set for username. So after this function runs, the user in their metadata is going to have a value of 1 for first claimed. And I'm going to put it up here before the channel reward gets updated. I like having the task taken care of before we actually change the reward. And to make things easier for ourselves, we can copy this entire thing. We can go up here to where second is claimed. And we're going to move this here. Now, we do have to change this because we're claiming second now. So second claimed. And then we change this one to second claimed. And there we go. Now it's all taken care of for a second. And then we move over here to third. Now here, there's less things on here because, I mean, that only makes sense now, does it? I'm not updating the custom variable anymore because we're not going beyond third. Anyway, and then this one would be third claimed. So I'll just rename all those. Okay, there we go. So now we've got it so that the redeem will go first claimed, second claimed, third claimed, and it'll assign it to whichever user is the person who claimed that particular position. Awesome. That's literally all it took to update this to have this function. Because I'm saving this now and third hasn't been claimed yet, I'm going to have to go back and give second and first place a value of 1 on theirs as well. Manually setting user metadata. I already know who got first and second. I can see it in the reward queue over here. So, one of the ways you can go and edit people's metadata manually is by going into the viewers list, for instance. And then, like, Omega got first here. So we go and we just pull up Omega here. And we've got all the metadata right here. Yeah, here we go. A bit of meat and potatoes. This is user metadata. Everybody's probably got quite a bit of metadata associated with them. So, if we're manually adding metadata, the very important thing when we're adding metadata is we need to make sure that it is consistent. So, Omega claimed first. The metadata used for first place being claimed is first claimed. We're going to set it to 1. Udon, welcome on in. Good to see you. I hope you're having a lovely time zone so far. Everybody, if you haven't followed Udon, give Udon a follow. Every Sunday and, subject to change on Udon's schedule and that. But so far, it's every Sunday night. Well, night over here. It might be day in your time zone for all I know. But he shows off updated nukes. Blah, 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 blah. So, game development of nukes. He streams that. Also, there's some really cool robot interactions. You get your own little robot when you chat over there. And that is so much fun. There's so much to discover. Udon checking in for the 16th time. That number will never reset on none of you. So long as Firebot's application data doesn't get all messed up. And even if it does, Firebot does have an automatic backup feature, and I can restore from backup if need be. So yeah, first claimed here. We set first claim to 1, and then we press save. There it is right there. It's all ready to keep being tracked. Now we're going to do the same thing with Aqua, who is the one who claimed second. So we're just going to pull this up. Here's all the metadata. And we're going to go second claimed. And we're going to set a value of 1. Because we only just started it today. And yeah, just like that. Wow, I did that really fast. I just autopiloted through that. Yeah, once you get used to things, you can just like, yes, add this. And then if you're like me, realize I made a mistake in one of them. And then copied over to 20 different functions. Oh my goodness. But yeah. That's how you manually set metadata. I only have to do that under certain circumstances. Like if I add it, like we just added to this feature right here. Partway through without all places being claimed. It just makes sense for consistency's sake if everybody could start getting their first, second, third claimed, etc., from the point that you change it onwards. So yeah, I went back and did, I retroactively added the values that everybody else should have. By the way, the lurk-in check-in feature is, it goes through this. So it has 2 different segments to it. First of all, this is the silent part of the check-in. This is the one that increases your value if you haven't already checked in yet. So, it checks if you've checked in for the very first time, because the message is different if you check in for the very first time. So, what this one does, this also involves metadata. It checks to see if the user metadata session's value is 0. What I'm checking for is if this is not set, because anything that's not set in Firebot is treated as 0. The second thing it checks for is whether or not they have the attendance, the flag that says, hey, this person's checked in. Which, quite honestly, if this value is 0, this should probably also be 0. We're checking for if the flag does not exist. Now, it's a little reiterative to have the both of them there, but I guess I had that there as a failsafe. I don't know. These conditions will almost always go hand in hand. Anyway, so yeah, if somebody uses this redeem and it's their very first time checking in, like they haven't ever chat in here before. Because if you chat in here before, there's another function that automatically checks you in. It'll run this instead. Honestly, I could turn this into a preset list. Might return an error trying to get a number if the flag isn't there. Well, if the flag isn't there, it's probably going to go straight down to here where it doesn't do anything. Because none of the conditions are going to be met. So if the flag is somehow... Well, actually, no. This is checking for if the flag isn't set. If the flag is set and your session is 0, it's going to go down here. It's not going to know what to do. Because that shouldn't exist. The way I have the functions flowing right now, it shouldn't be possible to have 0 sessions and your flag already set. So I don't have a catch down there for if that special circumstance happens. But I also, as far as I'm aware, don't have a way where that can happen. This function only exists in 2 different spots. If it does somehow happen, it's going to go down here and assume they already attended, probably. Because this condition down here, this condition just checks for the flag. Because this one's going to be regardless of how many times people have previously attended. Your session could be 42. Your session could be 24. Your session could be 420. It doesn't matter how many sessions you are. It's going to check whether you have that flag there or not. But yeah, the only big difference with this particular function here is what it's going to do is these are all set user metadata. Can't wait until session 420. Eventually, we'll see if I can stream that many streams consistently. I believe, what is it? I usually have like 110 to 120 streams per season, so it'd be about 4 seasons. No, the latter part of 3 seasons would bring me roughly to that number. And keep in mind, the stream counter right now, that is as of like that only started counting up at the beginning of September. That's when I initiated this function. I've streamed way more than 42 streams. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm confusing myself here. The stream value actually is way higher than 42 right now. It is 120 something because I started that counter at the beginning of season 3. However, the thing is, like, the people's sessions only start counting up when they check in for the first time, which includes if you end up chatting in chat, because again, we have a auto check-in feature. This is not the auto check-in feature. This is if you use the check-in redeem. So yeah, first session, it's going to increase your session by 1. It's going to grab this metadata here, which, because of that conditional branch here, this should be set to 0, aka unset. It's going to set it to 0 plus 1, so 1. It's going to set your sessions to 1. Then your sessions attended. This is just a flag. I just set it to a value of 1. Technically, it's not a Boolean. Technically, it's a numerical value, but I treat it like a I would treat it like a Boolean. You guys want to see Krista? Whoa, that's a big dynamite. Ah, jeez. What a time for RNG explosive to kick in. Right as we get rid of a stinky bot. Oh my goodness.
But...
Yeah, the hammer. Yes, the tush. Exactly. Oh my goodness. So yeah, these two get set, and then this one here. So, I've got a counter that gets increased by 1. Except I've got a -1 set to it because, well, further over in my flow, we've got a bit of an offset of 1 because of the way this function behaves in another area. Thing is, this -1 here is to prevent a divide by 0 error in a separate calculation that happens with the attendance percentage. So this -1 here is to avoid if somebody checks in for the first time, mathematically the formula I'm using will have a divide by 0. And I don't want that. So we just offset this by 1. So now it'll be divided by a number that is either equal to the session attended or more than. So you won't be dividing by a value of 0. So this is our that -1 is our anti-divide by 0 measures, and it takes from the counter here. Also, because you're checking in and your value up here, your sessions has already been increased, it's also to offset that. And then I write this. For Pete's sakes. Why is everybody calling my phone today? Let me just put that over there. I know that's a I know that's survey. I don't have time for I don't have time for survey. They should be I don't know. They should call me on a day that I'm not busy. Anyway, so username. This writes the user to a list. I keep everybody whose flags get set. I put it onto a list of users because Firebot's way of removing metadata is really weird. It doesn't. I have no way to select everybody in certain list or anything like that, and I don't want to do custom rules just for one function. So I just put a list down, and yeah, that's how that works. See, the write to file also happens here. They get recorded in the file if it's an additional session. This one just checks for flag. This sets the flag. And this increases your sessions attended by 1. And then this doesn't do anything. Because if they already attended, I don't want this to do anything. Now, I could put it up here in the else if and just check for the flag actually being set to 1. Because I have enough, it won't be set to any other value. Then, down here, I have the message response, which is only for the redeem itself. So, first session, it checks for sessions, it checks to see if it's 1. This happens after this, so any user going in with like a session of 0 should not leave this function with a value of 0. It should be 1 or more. We got this one, increases it by 1. This one increases it by 1. If your session's already attended, guess what? It was probably attended by a separate function that I have. Luna, welcome on in. Good to see you. I hope you're having a lovely time zone. And I hope that one day I will actually be able to catch your streams because I noticed you were streaming, but they were just times that I was not able to go into anybody's streams. One of these days. One of these days. Good to see ya. You're okay so far? Well, I'm glad you're okay. Okay is better than not so good. Kinda okay. Okay, that is better than bad, but I hope your days steers towards a better steers towards better outcomes. There we go. Better events, better outcomes. Apparently I can't words today. Don't worry about it. What are words? So yeah, this part just determines what text we send out. So if it's somebody's first session, their session's at 1, then this is the little, hey, congrats, this is your first time checking in. Welcome on in. Like, that's this message. Mentally just a bit fucked up. Man, those days really suck. And you know what? It doesn't even always have to be like an event trigger in it. Sometimes your body just gives you that attitude where it's like, no, I just don't like today. You just got that one day. It's like, well, apparently my body just does not like this day for some reason. It's like it's like the secret taunt in Super Smash Bros. Brawl where, what was it? Was this? I think it was Snake's secret taunt, and it just, for some reason, he doesn't like Sonic. He can't explain it. He just does not like that hedgehog for some reason. I think it was the secret taunt on Sonic or something like that. But yeah, it's like you just have these days where your body is just like, you know what? I don't like today. It was an event. Yeah, that's definitely rough. Nah, I really hope things start steering towards the better. Self-triggered. I've definitely had self-triggered, why the heck did I do this kind of days. And it's not just Firebot. It's not just me making a really dumb syntax error and then copying it to 20 different functions and then having to go into Firebot's Java files to replace every single instance of the mistake. Yeah, I had to do that one time. It was the only way that I could think of, and the only reason I did it that way was because everything, they were all in strings, so I didn't have to worry about like breaking Firebot by doing this. It was all string values. Thank goodness. It's actually getting better, so it's good. So it is good. Glad things are on the road to the better. The road here, like life side, things have been rough over here for the life side. Things have been rough for almost the past month. Mind you, we've still had some pretty amazing days. Like that day that we did Kirby Air Riders. Oh my goodness. I got that was quite the rush. It's actually making me tempted to do some late night Kirby Air Rider, or sorry, super early morning Kirby Air Rider, or if you're on the other side of the pond, I guess it would be like daytime Kirby Air Rider, because they're doing another demo this weekend. My only chance to play some Kirby Air Riders, because the game's $100 and that's well outside of my budget range. Let's do something overthinking things. Oh my good Luna, I've definitely overthought things. In fact, overthinking is actually like a problem that I have with a lot of things. If something's simple, if something's too simple, I always think, I'm always like, that's way too obvious. What are the catches? What are the details behind this? I always have to know the details of something. I've started a driving game prototype, and I've already spent hours driving around the landscape. Oh my goodness, Udon! Another project. Oh my goodness. Bottom Shorty, welcome on in. Good to see you. You know what? I may as well give a wave to everybody. There we go. Give a wave to everybody. I changed my oh, what's that annoying ding noise, or sorry, that bloop noise, or whatever the heck the noise is when you click on something and that you can't interact with that area. I don't know. I changed that system sound to nope, and it's hilarious now. It's not super annoying like it used to be. Gonna watch the stream before I head to bed. Welcome on in, Bottom Shorty. I hope you have a lovely rest. Thank you for popping in, and yeah, watching stream is a pre-sleep ritual. I appreciate that. We're going over some bot stuff, and yeah, mostly I'm talking about metadata here. However, this is not metadata. Let me just figure. This is not metadata. You might be like, what the heck? A fear. I see. Yeah. You know, the one that I don't like is when my brain is telling me, hey, you're forgetting something. And then that's bothering me the entire day. And I don't even know what the heck I forgot. My brain just tell me I forgot something. It's like, well, where's my bloody details, brain? How am I supposed to take action on forgetting stuff if you're not telling me what I forgot? Like, for Pete's sakes. Yeah. Like, oh my goodness. My brain doesn't do this to me all the time, but like every once in a while you get that one. It's like, I'm forgetting something. By the way, one of the things I almost forgot was to renew my vehicle registration, and that's not something I want to be forgetting. That one I did remember before the expiry. Thank goodness for that. But, like, ugh. Don't like forgetting that kind of stuff. I just accepted I forgot everything and don't worry about it. And with Firebot, oh my goodness. I've got so many things running at the same time. It's like every once... Well, I mean, I've already forgotten a good half of the Easter eggs I put into Firebot because they don't happen very often. Did I put that in? I don't know. RNG will surprise me if I did put it in. There is no Easter eggs in this function, by the way. This function is also part of the check-in thing. This is the chat response. So we had first session where it's like, congrats, you've checked in for the first time. Heck yes, welcome on in, all that good stuff. It doesn't, not exact words of what I tell it to say, but yeah. A bit scary that when you're at work and think, wait, did I forget something to do? Oh my god, while working, yeah. Yeah. Then you've always got that bug in you. Some of my job positions have been driving, so I have had to tell my brain, drop it for the time being. It's like, but, even when you convince your brain to do that, eventually breaks come along, and your lunch break comes along, and then that's when your brain is like, yeah, about that. It's like, brain, I don't care. Wait until after work. Unless it is something that may result in danger, then it's like, brain, please remind me. I gotta do ID renewal. Oh, yeah. I think I'm still good for a few years. I always get the, I think the one that I got was like 5 years or something like that. 5 long years. We have ads rolling very soon here, by the way. So just a heads up, we got presents. Hold on, let's give Twitch a bit. It's Twitch, by the way, that's not doing anything. The throw-in software is... well, at least a minute ahead of Twitch, it seems. Ah, there we go. There we go. Luna, thank you very much for 2 months. I appreciate it very much. You got that Overcast badge. Don't want ads right now. That's a very good reason, for sure. The ads are annoying. And, lately, it seems the ads have been riding like whatever's hype, and I've already stated this in previous streams, but the more something gets hyped up, the less interested I get in it. In forms of advertisements. If it's something I'm already interested in, then heck yes, yeah, I can get hyped with that ad, but most of the time, I mostly get weird shit in Germany as ads. Oh! I've actually gotten ads in the wrong language before. But you know what that tells me? That tells me that all my opt-out and no personal ads, no offsite ads preferences are actually being respected. If they don't know what language I'm speaking, you know what? That's working then. Definitely not in the mood for ads. No. Definitely Tush in the mood for ads. Maybe Tush is, but I don't know, Sectoral Captain. I think even Tush does not like ads either. Now, Tush might like ass, but not ads. Sorry, that was a low-hanging fruit. That was way too easy for me. Oh my goodness. We do have a weather report from our, actually updated. How did I not notice, by the way, how did I not notice this last week? With the, with all of this? Our weather data. Or was it still updated somehow? You know what? I think it was. I think it was, because this function retrieves it from the cloud location, not from the website host. That might be why I didn't notice this. because it was retrieving it from the cloud. The cloud is a separate upload path compared to the host. And if there's a problem with the FTP, that doesn't affect the cloud side of things. I know what happened then. Look at that. We're close to freezing. Well, my station's close to freezing. We're already below freezing over here. We're pretty close to -1 over here. Temperature of 0.3. Dew point -2.9. Feels like -3.2. Winds 11. Gusting 21. Getting a little windy. I don't like ads, but I have to see. But if I have to see one, I'd much rather it be something I'm interested in. I'm fine with the advertising stock. And oh yeah, like I said, everybody's got their own preferences. I'm very protective of my privacy in terms of like companies handling my information and that. There's way too many third parties nowadays that are undergoing security breaches, and every time I see the stories of the security breaches, it's like, you discovered this how long ago and you just went public now? Seriously? Like, that kind of stuff. They detected a security breach, but they were all hush-hush about it for, like... soonest, like 3 months later. There's a lot that go back several years. Like, oh my goodness. I was like, I don't want all these places in which half of them don't even know how to handle our information properly to have my information. Also, I don't want them retrieving any sort of stuff related to like my characters or my character concepts and all that stuff. Like, I'm very protective over that stuff too. Heck yes, others can draw my characters if they want. Give me a heads up, but heck yes. Do I want AI stuff touching any of my characters and concepts? Absolutely not. 11 degrees and heavily cloudy in location. Ah. Now, for me, there's a very... so, if it's overcast and it's just plain gray for me, that's actually my most disliked weather condition, is the clouds with no definition. They're almost always stratus clouds. And nothing's happening. Like, it's not even raining or anything like that. That is my most disliked weather condition. It's so boring. It is the opposite of the active weather I crave. In Germany, it's quite warm for November. Oh. We actually just finished with our 10 degree above average weather here. There's colder weather moving into all the prairie region now. Which actually just brought us back down to average temperature. It didn't even bring us to below average. I think we got a lot of peak temperatures of like 1 degree. I was just about to say, did we do weather talk? Yes, we did. We did 20 minutes of weather talk. Oh, right. So, I will get distracted during creative streams. I will often get distracted, which is totally fine. This is like, these are the chillest of the streams that I have. We just do bot stuff, and talking about weather, I will gladly talk about weather whenever the heck it's mentioned. Weather is just crazy in Germany. It's up and down like a roller coaster. That sounds about right for fall. That sounds about right. Mind you, depending on where you are, the weather only chills out like 1, maybe 2 months a year. For instance, the mountains. If you go way the heck over to the western part of the prairie region, you're in the Rockies, or if you're in BC, most of BC is mountains and valleys. The weather can never make up its mind in those areas. And a lot of those areas are only safe 2 months of the year. Did my controller... Hold on. I think my controller connected to the PC. Oh, no, it didn't. What is... My controller has lights. Hold on. Well, let me make sure I've removed... Oh, it is connected. Let me just remove that. There we go. That'll prevent that mistake from happening. I have a mountain area in Germany where I am. Oh. That'll definitely mess around with some of the weather happening. Definitely, for sure. That is one of the things I respect about weather, though, like the variation, the active weather. How furious the weather can get. It's like, don't know what people did to anger the weather in this area, but like, well, what did people do here to make the weather so boring? I guess maybe it's because the area I live in sort of sucks and no thunderstorms want to visit here. You know what? That might be the case. Oh my goodness. But yeah, oh my goodness. Our active weather, I'd love to have more. So yeah, for this conditional effect here, we got our first session message, and this is our additional sessions. However, this one only runs if the attendance percentage is high enough. I'm curious to see if there'll be any snow this year. I mean, yeah, if you're close enough to the mountains, I could still see it happening. Depends on what direction things come from, though. Over here, if we got a good west or a good northwest, we often get snow with a lot of that. Actually, I'm gonna say our southwest is pretty notorious for blowing snow over too, but it's usually west. West is the most common one that we get snow systems from. Apparently, we're forecast to get snow tonight, but there's no accumulation amounts mentioned. So, probably means less than 1 centimeter. However, I'm noticing we're also forecast to get quite a bit of wind tonight, so we might get some minor snowstorm conditions. Ground temperature might be too high for us to get anything to accumulate. Over the years, sometimes you get snow, and sometimes you get nothing. Oh! Bit of a roll of the dice in whether there's snow or not. We almost always have snow. We did have one really weird season, though, where the snow did not fall until Christmas Eve, the 24th. We had to wait until late December to finally get snow on the ground. That was a very weird year. And it was followed by a nasty fire season, so I would love to not get a repeat of that. If you go dice... Wait a minute. Is it dice D20? I think that rolls the dice. I think so. Am I remembering that correctly? 19! Not too bad at all. In fact, if you have the right trait, that would also be a crit. Not too bad at all. So for additional sessions, if you have a high attendance, this is a variable macro, by the way. It's just a shortcut to a set formula, and I run username through it, and it checks whether it's 80 or higher, greater than or equal to 80. And then that just tells you, hey, like if this person's attendance rate is 80% or higher, then it does this response, and it also tells you like what attendance rate you have. And then I put a percent at the end, because that is in percentage. And then down here, if you already checked in, and this is like the passive, if you've already checked in by like chatting in chat. Oh. And you got a 2, which is the opposite of 19. That is the opposite of 19 on a D20. Oh my goodness. What the heck? Oh. Dice from the Arctic. Which Arctic? Don't know. I'm Shorty checking in for 14 sessions. Look at that. That number just keeps going up. And I just made a question before roll. Oh my goodness. Oh, if it's will it snow, then a 2 on that. Been working a lot to where I haven't been able to be here. Oh, no worries at all. Like I said earlier, Bob Shorty, that number does not reset at all. It only goes up. So when you're checking in and all of that, it increases your session regardless of whether you've been here previously or not. So yeah, all good. Oh, I think you actually have to put D20 in there. I don't have... Firebot doesn't have a way for me to put aliases into subcommands. Because the D20 is that's actually a subcommand. Wow, your luck is actually like balancing out. Like you had a 19 and a 2, which is pretty much right in the middle, averages out to a 10 if you're going by the dice logic. And then you got a 10, which is right in the middle. That is like the definition of average luck right there. Right in the middle. But yeah, the otherwise here, like this is going to happen. This clause right here doesn't really like look at what your attendance is. It's just if these two don't have anything. If these two don't pass, then it just comes down here. It's like, hey, you've attended this many sessions so far. Will I get 3 today? A 15. I would say that is overall favorable. That is a favorable for that one. So yeah, when it comes to the lurkin check-in thing, we got the increased session thing, but also you got your message response depending on, depending on your attendance percentage, whether you've already checked in or not, all that stuff. Now, the other thing tied to this lurkin check-in, which works hand in hand, is actually over here. I've got a event here. Hold on, where is it? Viewer auto attend right here, which is only enabled during stream. It gets disabled after stream. Right, early shift. Oh, yeah, early shift not fun at all. I'd much rather not. I'm not looking forward to having it. I already have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning for training. I wake up at 6:30 in the morning because I give myself an hour to prep, and then 30 minutes to commute. So, I'm still starting at 8, which is relatively reasonable. More reasonable than having to go to work at 7 and having to wake up at 5:30. Ugh. That was what I had to do last time I was on full-time. Got work at 5 in the morning. Ugh, I would not like waking up that early. Although if I wake up early enough, I don't have the sleepiness. My body consistently does not like being awake between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Will I get a hug today? Aw, no. Well, you can get hugs here because !hug me or !hug targeting yourself works here. Krista gives you a hug. Krista is our distributor of hugs over here. You can also hug other people. We very much got a functional hug command. It even keeps track of how many times you hug somebody, or if you ask for a hug yourself, it keeps track of how many hugs you've been given. So yeah, we got 2 separate statistics keeping track of that stuff. Always get the hugs here. So yeah, the auto attend works pretty much the same way as the channel redeem. However, it's quiet. There's no output message from this. 92, 10, 15, 2. Yeah, your RNG is all over the place. My goodness. It really just cannot make up its mind. If I work, I'd rather wake up to my partner. since that's been my dream and wish since waking up to a partner or family member is good. Oh, heck yeah. See, I don't seek a second person myself, but I can understand why people... Is the dice command broken? Why is the dice command so obsessed with 2? Come on, dice. You know what I do with my D20? If it keeps, like, if it starts screwing up my throws frequently, I put it in jail and take out my other one. I put it in a little jail and make it think about its actions. I've got a little, like, dice jail for... I actually have never had to do that. I've never had to jail my OG D20. It's actually fair. It's been fair to me. It's done a decent amount of, oh, you did really good on this. Oh, yeah, it does have a short cooldown. And the custom message is just, oh, you just can't find your dice. We'll just say that, like, you rolled it, and then it rolled off the table, and now you have to find it, or something like that. I don't know. Oh my goodness, that was a number that's not 2. Wow. Not that 5 is all that amazing. No. You had enough sleep after work. Oh my goodness. I feel like a 5 is me getting enough sleep after work. Oh my goodness. It's only been a month since I dated my partner, since it took time slowly. Slowly is never a bad thing. Waited 7 years. On your month into it. Well, I mean, that's pretty darn good. Hopefully it evolves to way more than a month. Honestly, waiting a while can make it all the more worth it. I mean, hey, I have not participated in dating at all because I'm not interested in it. But also because I'm very much, I would like to be, like, up to my own standards before I can even bother entertaining the idea. And also, it'd be complicated. My degree of trust in individuals is very complicated, so there's also that too. So, as you might conclude, very much on the demi side of the spectrum. The demi part of the A spectrum. So, yeah. It's not a simple, I see this person, I want to be with this person. It's very much complicated. Will you be happy again today? That's an 18. There we go. You will be happy again today. That is good. That is good. Stream is your favorite thing right now, which is a good thing to keep off your minds. Yeah. Like, that's one of the reasons why, like, I may not be in the best of moods prior to stream. However, my mood usually improves when I'm streaming. So as long as I've hit that minimum criteria when I self-evaluate, I practice self-evaluation. Well, I get angry today. Only a 4. There we go. That is good outcome right there. You know what I'm curious about? Because of some of the goofy things I was saying earlier. Brain cell. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of brain cells that are actually active with me. My goodness. Really? Do I cry today? Wish I cried. Sectoral Captain, that's all on you. $18. Wait. You'll be happy but crying? Wait a minute. Does that mean you're about to encounter, like, a really good event? Usually happy cry is, like, when you encounter, like, something, like, unbelievably amazing that your emotions can't process. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Focusing on self is good for a long time for socializing. Yeah. I mean, I could also be a little. I'm also a little self-critical too. So, very much. No, babe. No, me. You shouldn't be doing that. No. Or why the heck did I do this in Firebot? That happens a lot. Maybe see my girlfriend. Maybe see my girlfriend today in VR again. Ooh, I mean, that sounds like a pretty good event right there. So with auto attend here, this works the same way as in the other function. However, it will not spit out a message. What it will do is it's going to, well, already attended's not going to do anything. If you don't have the flag set, it's going to silently set the flag and increase your session by 1. Why do I set a flag? Because this redeem does the same thing. And this redeem does the same thing. Yes, thanks for the nya. I better drink some water before this nya causes me to choke on air. Oh, thank you very much for the nya. It's the boyer nya. And the length of time that I do this varies quite a bit. It could be for a few sentences. It could be for several paragraphs. It depends on how long I feel like I can keep this up. That's why it's only 150 silver pieces, because the length is very inconsistent. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that is how the lurking/check-in works. It works alongside this viewer auto-attend function. However, how does a flag get unset? Well, that is a complicated one. I have a startup/shutdown function, and right down here at stream ended. Yeah, that was a meteor, and that was an accurate meteor too. I have stream ended right over here. So we got all this here. Deactivate auto attend because the stream is over. You got a golden kappa somewhere. Congrats on getting that. They're not easy to get. That is before I go to bed. All right, Bottom Shorty will thank you.
Oh, ouch. Did the voice thing work? Yes, it did. I had to double check. So yeah, the tiny redeem shrinks me and makes me tiny and makes my voice tiny. For I think the amount of time it lasts is random actually. So we'll see how long the small thing lasts. Trying to get a good laugh in. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting combination right here. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the mode now. But I can't get out of tiny mode because RNG dictates how long this lasts. Yeah, and tiny would be cute. The tiny little sectoral leader. It took me a little bit of effort to try and get tiny to work properly with some of the other redeems because, yeah, explosions I think was one that worked very weird with tiny, where it would make my character go back to normal size and then my character would re-shrink. Yeah, I think I've got a lot of the combinations taken care of. Steam machine is coming out apparently. Ah, we don't have any carpets over here. Steam machine. Is that something like that Steam is Brandon? Also, I saw that meteor. So yeah, meteor has a 50% hit rate. Being tiny does not affect its accuracy. However, the hitbox would be a little weird. Oh, it is a Steam thing. Okay. Wonder what the heck they're hoping to accomplish with it. I haven't even looked up what the heck it is, so.
Stretch those shoulders.
Ooh, a stretch. Don't mind if I do. Oh, it's a console. Well, I guess Steam is in a good position to get into the console industry. Honestly, I mean, good on them. It's a huge undertaking. Thanks for the stretch bottom, shorty. I only got 2 bone pops out of that, so I guess my body is doing decent right now. Oh! I don't often do many medical checks myself or anything like that, but I had to as part of upgrading my license. Apparently, my heart rate is still very good. So, you know what? I'm cool with that. Wow, RNG chose a very long length for Tiny. I don't remember what range I gave it. It's getting Steam exclusive games, which hits at Half-Life 3. Hints at Half-Life 3. Oh! I know a lot of people would be pretty interested. Yeah, Steam has a flagship of their own. Oh, they're very much in a position to get their own console going. We'll see how they manage it. And we'll see if Steam makes their console $700. Gonna go for now. Gotta get some sleep for work. Alright, Bomb Shorty. I hope you have a lovely rest. Thank you for swinging on by. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest. I hope it's high quality. And I hope it goes uninterrupted as well. 8 hours of sleep from now and a world of work. Yeah, I hope your
Rest goes well. Good rest should hopefully mean a good work day. Not only that, but it gets access to both Xbox and PlayStation exclusives, most likely. Not so exclusive anymore. I mean, there's not very much exclusive to Xbox anymore anyways, isn't there? Because Xbox is like, you know, for some reason, Xbox is now like, oh yeah, our main flagship, we're going to just make that available on PlayStation. It's still a very confusing move to me. It's like, why would you do that? PlayStation, though. You know, I keep forgetting what PlayStation's flagship is. I keep forgetting. There's just not very many titles on the PlayStation 4 that are like PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, 4, whatever. PlayStation 8. Kratos. Oh, okay. I'm not even that invested in that series, so I guess I just don't have any real reason to invest in a PlayStation. God of War is actually one that yeah. I didn't even realize that was Sony's flagship, or Sony/PlayStation. Just calling Sony PlayStation now. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, Steam's got all of... Oh, Ratchet and Clank, that's right, yeah. Did PlayStation even used to have Ratchet and Clank exclusively, though? I don't feel like that one was like an original flagship. I feel like that's one that went on to Sony's ship. I don't know. I mean, I can hardly keep track of a lot of it nowadays. So, the stream ended thing. So, I'm just going to talk about the things that are, like, the attendance thing related. So, as soon as the stream ends, the viewer auto-attend thing deactivates. Because it wouldn't make sense if you chat after the stream to have it check you in. Because the stream's not running anymore. Well, what are you checking into? Increases the stream number by 1, increases the number of streams by 1. Write some new data to a file. They don't have a single flagship game. Oh. Tush don't have a single tush. Oh no! I mean, that's a pretty serious issue, Sectoral Captain. If Tush doesn't have any tush, that dang. Deactivate that stuff. Wait, hold on. Oh, by the way, somewhere in here is the thing that yeah, there we go. This is the one that processes top 10 hugs. This conditional effect right here. It checks for empty slots and fills them. And then, yeah, that'll get loaded in. This is actually run a script. This runs a script. But anyway, that has nothing to do. Here we go. Reset each user's check-in flag. So this is a loop effect. If you're going to play around with loops in Firebot, I highly recommend you are very careful. Because if you point a loop to something that contains the same loop, you're going to get an infinite loop. You don't want none of that. That's how you freeze your Firebot and have to restore from backup. Don't do that. Also, the loop count, I don't even just put a number in. You could put variables in here. You can go crazy here. So, what I have it do is I actually have it check how many lines there are in the file that we were saving the users to. You saw earlier I did write to file, and I was right into this file right here, the temporary user file, which was keeping track of how many users have had the flag assigned to them. What it's going to do is it's going to grab for every single line here. It's going to remove the user metadata of whichever user is at the top. And then it's going to delete that line. And then it's going to read at the top again and delete until the file is empty. So this is the way that I use to remove everybody's they've already attended flags. If this didn't run, then you'd be able to check in once, and you wouldn't be able to check in again because the flag wouldn't get unset. So, yeah. I have all of this running in a cleanup script. Like, this is like a cleanup procedure. This all happens after stream. Including some of the automation. In fact, right down here, actually, you can see here. Unpause. Oh, hold on. Where's the other redeem one? Oh, this does multiple things. So, first of all, so it unpauses, it changes the redeem back to first, it changes the description back to first, it changes the cost back to 1. It resets first, second, and third. Twitch takes care of the rest of it, because once your stream ends, well, the X amount per redeem stuff, that all gets reset. Unfortunately for Twitch, what also happens is if your stream accidentally goes down and you have to start it back up again, well, that also resets the X users per redeem, whatever. It resets that too. However, with Firebot here, if let's say OBS crashes or whatever, it's not going to run this end event here. Because, well, it lost connection with OBS. That's what actually happened. So how is it supposed to know the stream ended? However, the problem that I usually run into when restarting the stream is it will run this again, which sometimes causes bugs. But, yeah. Then... But yeah, it does. This still continues to work, and I do have a few checks that happen that don't. Let's say the race does not restart. Also, I have disconnect protection, so technically the stream doesn't end if OBS crashes. I've got a short period of time to get OBS back up and running and stream it again. So that can prevent the startup thing from happening. But, yeah. This is all, like, startup stuff, and I have more startup stuff on, like, timed channels. Time channels. Oh my goodness. So, also there's your little weather report. That's the thing that publishes the weather reports once I have them prepared. But let's say, like, schedule start, for instance. It runs in a... Well, I put this into an effect list. Effect lists, these are functions in Firebot. I got a lot of functions. And there's going to be plenty more coming along as I find things that run multiple times. Time Mage. Might have been playing Bravely Default when I designed that function. So yeah, stream start pre, like, this gets the stream all started up for me. This gives me a heads up. I think this is the one. Yeah, it tells me the stream's about to go live soon. So it gives me a heads up, hey, this is running, get ready. And then, like, flags get set, and the timer gets set. Stats get set to, they get initialized, all that stuff. A little bit of delay because I'm trying to time it so that, because I think down over here, yeah, this is the part that actually starts the stream. And the effect that starts the stream is, in turn, it's going to trigger, if we go over to events here, it's going to trigger this because the stream started. Oh, sorry, not that one. That's Firebot started. OBS stream started. There we go. This is the one that'll trigger. So this is the one we're looking for. And this one, you know, yes. I had this here for the time being because Twitch had a really obnoxious bug with, wait, what was this one again? Oh, if the player has not started, yeah, that's right, because Twitch broke the friggin' player so that it would not, you'd have to refresh in order to see somebody's stream. So I had that up there while Twitch had that annoying bug, but now I don't need it, so I just disabled it. But yeah, once the stream starts, it'll, well, first of all, it's going to mute certain sources so that you're not, I don't know, randomly hearing a game in the background while things are starting. Or let's say I forgot to mute my microphone after the previous stream. It'll mute my microphone as well, so I can properly get everything all started up. And so that you don't randomly hear me rambling about who the heck knows what, or out of context, or absolute nonsense. There's your viewer auto attend getting activated. It waits about 30 seconds. We wait for the actual pre-intro to run. And then the pre-intro is already ready to go over here. I think. Or something else takes care of that. Then this is the go live message. In fact, what I should be doing here is send go live message. Tell me what it does. So, sends the go live message. Little delay. Oh, this is the pre-intro right here. I think this is the actual pre-intro. Hold on. What? Interesting. Don't know what the heck those were. Maybe it's something that I tried to delete multiple times but keeps showing up again. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. That's the intro loop. That's the monitor. I could have sworn there was something else here. Yeah, well. I don't know what the heck's missing from there. I just know the intros haven't really been all that botched, so I guess it's all fine. This launches an application, depending on the argument I use. It's a little preset. Preset lists are pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, so that all happens at the beginning. I got stream start, I've got a little reroll, which is mostly the passive race. Because when I first made the passive race, it would sometimes roll these random bots that are sitting in your chat doing nothing. You know, back when Twitch had their old version of stuff, and back when the bot parking was really annoying. Now it can't be done as far as I'm aware. Although I could have sworn in one of the chats I did see what those fake bots just for a split second when I opened up the community thing, so I don't know if they're totally gone. I think they might just be intentionally hiding from the chat list. Wait, Firebot has a way to retrieve the raw viewer data. I wonder if you could do. I wonder if you could reveal them doing that. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, whole bunch of presets here. Now, how the heck do you get those little argument things? Well, what happens is you add an argument right here, and it'll show up as a box. It'll ask like, "Hey, what the heck do you want to put in for this?" Whenever you pull up that option. How the heck do you access these options? Well, if you go to your effects here, hold on. I gotta wait for a bit because I have so many commands it takes a while to load. I was gonna disable this. Okay, do I have any effects here? I have a run custom effect, but that's not what I'm looking for. Run effects list. Am I even using this for anything else? I don't think I am. Anyway, so this starts out empty, by the way, when you first have this. It's called Run Effect List. You select that effect, you go to Preset, and then you select any of the presets that you have here. And what happens if they have multiple arguments, like, for instance, queue management, which is one of the latest functions I made. If you click on it, it's going to ask for a few things, whatever you've assigned as arguments. So every argument is going to have like this and this, a corresponding box asking for input. Depending on the function, you're going to want to put something in it, but you can also leave things blank. For the queue function, for the queue management function, you saw those three arguments that were passed in? Well, they're passed into here, here, and here. And then, you know, there's other stuff. Conditional effects, there's a lot of conditional effects in this one. I've put a whole bunch of them in. Hi, Krista. That was a Krista throw, but that was a Krista throw that missed. It was a throw random, but it selected Krista. So yeah, add, move, remove, advance, queue size, queue limit, blacklist management, allow list management, enable, disable, lock, unlock, because you can lock, you can unlock the queue. You can clear the entire queue. For some reason, that was a function I added much later, even though that's a pretty handy function. And then we got set code, we got send code, all that fun stuff. Well, yeah, that all goes through there. Screen flip. Why is that a separate effect? Honestly, I should just put all the screen effects into one function and then have a argument passed in. Yeah, that's fine. It's no huge deal. Load user stats, load target stats. These are used for the battle system, by the way. So let's say you go exclamation mark hug somebody. Actually, does hug even load the user stats? I don't think it does. But it does load target stats. So when you hug somebody, it's going to load the stats of the target. I don't know if it loads the stats of a user because I don't think you actually need the user stats for this. But it does load target stats because there is something in the target stats that I'm looking for. So, the person that's being targeted is passed into this argument. First of all, I want to check and see if the target even has any battle data. If they don't, like here, user metadata, attack target, B index, which we check if it's 0. Every user that's involved in the battle system, whether they've been, let's just say if you get targeted by a hug, you're put into the battle system. Your stats are initialized and all that stuff. We check to see if their index is 0. The B index keeps track of which line I want to start reading from. I do plan on making some pretty big changes to this so that everybody's stats are in arrays. So it's going to be like one user per line. I can compress everybody's stats into one line per user. Which means I'm going to have to change a lot of this in the future. But for now, it goes like this. So the B index gets set to what the current custom variable is. I keep track of this stat. It's actually one of the variables that's available. If I can find it. Yes, my eyes were actually squinting. I couldn't find it. I was like, User B index. It might be pretty far up, actually, because it loads in when Firebot loads in. Ah, yes, here we go. The user B index is 161. So probably line 161 is what it's going to be targeting. Does that match up? I'm just going to check here. Hold on. Let me open up Sublime Text. I want to see if that actually matches up. User variables. Yep, that does indeed match up. However, I see some invalid data. When did that get added in? Hold on. I'm going to do a little mitigation to prevent that from happening again. Okay, so I think that's the... Dang, where the heck does that go? Okay. I think Hug... Yeah, Hug already ignores the bot account, so it's not coming from Hug. But I think what I'm going to do is maybe add another argument here to make it ignore any command that uses the tush word. What could have caused it to do this? Well, anyway. Yeah, I'll figure that out some other time. Where were we? Ah, yes. We were at load target stats. So anyway, if there's no battle data, which if the B index is not set, then there isn't going to be any. That's going to be set to 0. It's unset. It's going to set the user metadata, which I've actually got to fix the... I've actually got to fix some variables here. Hold on. Because of that problem that happened, I do need to do a bit of a correction here. So what am I going to do here? I'm just going to... Okay, let me just grab 1, 2, 3, 4... grab all of this. And I'm just going to grab this. And I'm just going to put this here. I'm going to replace that. I'm going to blank it out. And then over in the dashboard here, I have a little button for when I want to change bot variables. And on the variable sheet here, I'm just going to... You can't see the variable sheet right now, so don't mind that. Okay, variable sheet. Ah, here we go. Line 3. I'm going to set that to 15. I'm going to set the user count down to 15. And then, when I close this, the variables get updated on their own. Because the little button that I press, this little variable button here, once the application that it opens up closes, it will save the new variables. Pretty handy. Waiting for the commands to load up again. There we go. Okay. Anyway, low target stats should now be fixed. Oh, I had it open in Sublime Text. I could have just edited it from there. That's fine. If I edit it from Sublime Text, it's not going to auto-update on me anyways, so... better that I did it that way. Anyway, so... low target stats. Checked for no battle data. If there's no metadata, what it's going to do is it's going to grab this user B index. This is the variable I fixed, by the way, was this variable, because it was set incorrectly as a result of that. Ah, okay, good. So yeah, it's going to set... it's going to set the... it's going to set this as meta... Oh, what? Wait. Oh, right. It sets the... I'm just confusing myself here. The attack target... why is it using a custom variable? Attack target is an argument. Honestly, this needs to be revised. I don't like how it's doing this. What I wanted to actually do is I wanted to use a the argument. So it should be $, number sign, or pound, whatever the heck you want to call it. And then attack target. And that'll have it use the argument instead of the custom variable. But I have underlying mechanisms that uses the custom variable anyways. So, yeah, we gotta stick around for that. Anyway. And then it's going to initialize their file here. So it's going to grab this index. This index here, what it's doing is it's pointing to where on the text file a new user's data begins. So it's telling this where to start. So replace that line with all this. How does this work without adding a crapload of lines? Oh, it does add a crapload of lines. I was about to say, how does it work without adding all this? It did add all of this. Yeah. Because as I have it right now, that doesn't prevent all the duplicate line nonsense. So it's not replacing a line number range. I wish it would, though. I really wish it would. But you know what? This is all going to get fixed when I change things to arrays. I am very much looking forward to arrays now. Maybe we should do that live. Maybe that should be one of the big tasks we do. But anyway, yeah. So the user base index, that's why I call it a B index, because it's like a base index. So the first area here is the label. Who the heck does this data correspond to? This is the max HP default, because when your stats initiate, your max HP is 10. This is your max MP default. Initiates to 3. And you've got your... oh, what the heck? Was this resistances? Resistances. Immunities. Weakness, which, by the way, does not exist yet. I have a spot for it in the battle system, but that has not been implemented. Which What was the last stream number they joined in? Of the season, by the way. This variable right here gets reset to 0 at the beginning of every season. Which stream of the season were they last seen in? And what this particular value does is it checks to see if somebody has arrived on a different day or on a different stream. Because what happens when you're on a different stream is your HP gets set back to its max HP, your HP gets fully restored, and your MP gets fully restored to its maximum value. I store it like this because there are certain circumstances in which you can increase your max HP, and there are certain circumstances in which you can increase your max MP as well. Maybe I should just call it action points though, because like technically if you throw a banana peel, that also uses MP. I mean, you just conjure it. And I don't know what the heck this one's used for. And then these two down here are blank because they're unused lines. Again, another reason why I want to change this to arrays is because it won't confine me to 10 lines. Points at 222. That's a fun number. That's a fun number to have. I'm assuming you mean the silver pieces. So yeah, that's what this write to file does. Is it initiates their particular set of stats. Then custom variable here, the user target index, which is the same as the B index. Yeah. Oh, awesome. We have ads about to start in a minute here. I'll probably still be yammering on anyways by the time we are done and all that. I didn't miss any of these redeems, did I? Oh, good. I didn't. I don't think I did. Not as far as I'm aware. Okay, where was I? Yes. Target index gets set to custom variable. This is just a temporary. I have this here temporarily. Custom variable, it retrieves their maximum HP. Their HP, their HP gets set to 10. Now, HP is a currency. I don't know why I did it this way, but I did do it this way. Attack target max MP gets set, and it also gets set as a currency. Oh, there we go. One of the lines was the number of KOs you've obtained. Right. User B index gets set. It gets set to +10. So this will, for like the future, the next person who gets data created will get theirs created 10 lines down. And then all of that gets written to a file. So the new B index gets written to a file, and also the user profiles gets written to a file. Which up here, user profiles gets plus by 1. One more user profile. Makes sense. That's if there's no battle data. If there is battle data, all of this happens. Yeah, things happen. We got a weather report here, which is looking very familiar to the previous one. That temperature is looking the same. Our 0.3, 32.5 Fahrenheit. Dew point of -2.8, 27. Our feels like has improved a little. -2.9, 26.8. Winds 10, gusting 19. And yeah, that's what it's at. Oh, I see. Oh, all the variable. Oh my goodness, this is a very complicated custom variable, by the way. It retrieves. So this mess of a string right here turns into the username. And then, right after it, -mhp. Yeah. So, the variable name depends on what's retrieved from the file. The variable name is actually retrieved from the file. It's ridiculous. And then user target index gets increased by 1 here. Oh, sorry, this is an offset. This is an offset. So it retrieves max HP and it sets it as a variable. And it does it for each of these. For every variable that needs to be checked. This is also why I put it into a preset. So that I could just throw it to a preset and be like, ah, yeah, this. Yeah, all the way down to here. Offset of +7. So the T index doesn't get changed through any of this. The target index is like, hey, look here. And then I have an offset because that particular statistic is down there. So it's like, hey, look this far down from the beginning of the user area. And then down here, we got conditional effects. Yes. This conditional effect here, basically what it does is it checks if the stream has changed since they last used the battle system. Because what happens in that case is their HP gets restored back to max, and so does their MP. So yeah, it runs that check all the way the heck down here. And then this, I don't know, I must have retired a variable or something. Welcome back from ads, everybody. I was just continuing to explain the whole battle system thing. Now, what the heck does this have to do with the !hug command, alright? Well, let's go over to the hug command. So let's say you were hugging somebody. There's your load target stats. That was the thing that we just talked about. What argument does it pass in? It passes in target 1. The target on the first argument. So, !hug person. Oh, we'll see you later, Luna. I hope you have a lovely time zone. Would be out again. Need to get ready for work. Alright, I hope work goes well. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. And I will keep the whisper in mind. Hopefully times line up. You never know. This weekend is supposed to be half busy, so we'll see if it's the busy half or the not busy half. But tush, yes, tush. So we got load target stat, and we got target 1. So it's going to retrieve all the stats for target 1. Now, while those variables are all active, this is the reason why we load the target stats. We're checking to see if they are resistant or immune to hugs. So, by the way, it does not cost anything to make yourself immune to hugs. If you don't like receiving hugs, you can go !immune hug. And I believe that is what makes you immune to hugs. If you really don't like hugs, most people like hugs, but there's people who don't. There's people who do not like contact from other people. So, you know, if you've got that kind of preference, then you can make yourself immune to hugs. It doesn't cost you anything. If you want to resist hugs, that does cost you 1 platinum piece, alright? Alright? Because resistant hug sounds more like a playful thing now, doesn't it? But anyway, let's say we're checking for their immunity to hugs. So this variable, once again, we're going to do custom variable attack target -immune. So this is going to turn into username -immune. And we're going to check and see if the value contains hug. Remember, this, during the load user stats, this got retrieved from the file. Now, what the heck does the file look like? Well, it looks like this. Everybody's got 10 pieces of data right here. And what it does here is, so this is the resistances, if I'm not mistaken. This is the immunities. I don't know why mine are so random. It's probably because it was probably a result of tests and stuff. But yeah, we got resistances, we got immunities. Also, resistant and immune to an element. Wow, that makes very much sense. Here's weaknesses, but again, this is unused. It's there, but I don't really utilize it right now. Ah, and then you got resistances right here as well. You've also got your HP, your max HP, your max HP, your max MP. What is this again? Oh, is this stream? This is stream number right here. This is stream number, but this is the seasonal stream number. I didn't realize we're at 16. Wait a minute. I haven't used the battle system yet. I don't... No. This number only gets updated if a refresh has happened. So, yeah. But yeah, it keeps track of everybody who has interacted with the battle system. So yeah, in this case, it's going to be retrieving the immune value. The immune value through the through that little load user stats thing is going to look at the 5th line in each user's file. So 5, 15, 25, it's going to take a look at those particular lines of whoever. So it's whoever, and then it's going to go like down to the whatever 5 line. And that is what it's going to check. And it's going to check for hug. Nobody here contains hug, so guess what? That's not going to pass for anybody right now. Well, none of those people. If it does come across somebody who happens to have hug in their immunities, though, it's going to return this message. It's going to say, this person is immune to hugs. Notice how I didn't put target bracket 1 here, and I put target bracket 1 elsewhere? I don't know why I did that. They're the same thing in this particular case. Then we've got resist. Now, resist is going to be handled a little differently. First of all, it's going to check for the line that contains resistances. So in the case of this area here, it's going to be checking for 4, it's going to be checking for 14, 24, like whoever's on these particular lines. It's going to check if that particular line, which is now a variable, by the way, the statistics fetching thing turns them all into variables. So I just read from variable here. It makes it easier. It checks to see if that variable contains hug. Well, if it does, we're going to have to roll a dice. Because we got somebody with a resistance. We're trying to perform an action on somebody who has a resistance to that action. So, here goes our RNG, our random number 1 to 20. And then we got our conditional effects here. We are checking greater than or equal to 10 is what's considered a hit here. You can't customize the degree of resistance you have. It's either you're resistant to it or you're not resistant to it. And it makes it a 50-50 chance, essentially. So, if the RNG rolls something equal or greater than 10, it is considered a successful hug. So, the hug command will still carry out here. The chat message will be a little different. You'll actually notice here, it'll be a target tries to resist, but username manages to give a hug. And this just reads from file, by the way. This is how hug has always worked in this channel. And then it tells you how many hugs have been given, because Oh, good. That happens afterwards, right? So hugs given, there you go. It counts towards the username, and whoever got targeted, it increases their hugs taken by 1. Or hugs received is actually how it's worded, but the variable here says hugs taken. Oh, also, it adds to the statistics here. It adds a +1 to hugs. However,
Hello.
if it is not equal or greater than 10, well, that's going to be a little different. Ninja, welcome on in. Good to see you. Was first to say it this time. Welcome on in, Ninja. I mean, that is a good way to beat me to it. I hope you're having a lovely time zone. Well, we're explaining how the bot works here, and we might be playing around with it too. We might be, I don't know, maybe converting something into an array. I can show us how arrays work. I'm not sure if I want to show you the battle system, changing the battle system into arrays. Let's just say I think that task is going to last way longer than the 2 hours we have left. It's going to be a complicated one because I'm changing things into arrays, which means I'm going to have to dismantle a lot of the current way things work with it. And I'm going to have to change the B index thing. I'm going to have to change that to adjust by 1. And we're also going to need an array index for every stat. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting one. It will prevent this issue, though. Hold on. It'll prevent this issue, though. Because this issue happens every single time a new person is added to the battle database. It adds a whole bunch of blank lines. Because for some reason, I can't get Firebot to replace a range of lines with other multi-lines. Firebot doesn't seem to like that very much. But yeah. So, if this is not met, if the RNG attack value is a 9 or less, it's going to go down here. And it's going to say, like, the target resists the username's hug. So, yeah, if you ever put a resistance to hug, which requires one platinum piece, those are rare pieces, by the way. I don't give them out very often. And it's usually if somebody helps me fix... If somebody leads me to a significant bug, I usually give them a platinum piece or something like that. So they're not given out very often. They're actually very rare currency around here. So yeah, we got target can resist. And here we go. So if somebody uses hug and they have no resistances to it, the command just goes through as it normally would. Exclamation mark hug? Yeah. It just works as normal most of the time. I don't think there's anybody in the battle system right now who even has a resistance or an immunity to hug. I mean, if you ask Krista, why would you not want a hug? That's Chris's argument, but, you know. I'm going to remove all those extra lines, though. Let me just remove those. Save the variables file. There we go. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah. All per usual, and the chat message will just be, you know, username gives target... Why does this one say target 1? I'm so inconsistent with this. I don't need to put the 1 there. If you don't put an argument in, it always assumes 1. That's just how this particular variable works. Yeah, and then whatever kind of hug. And then it tells you how many hugs you've given out too. And yeah, that's how hug works. if a target exists. Now, you can also give yourself a hug. Well, okay, it's not giving yourself a hug, it's requesting to be hugged yourself. That's actually how it works. You can go hug me, or you can go hug and target yourself. Both will behave the same way, because this is set to if any of the following conditions pass. If it's this one, or if it's this one, this makes these like an or statement. It'll increase how many hugs you've received. And Crystal will give you a hug. Crystal will give whoever a types of hugs right here. And then it'll tell you how many hugs you've been given. Target exists. I check for... I don't want to see no user found. And I also do not want to see error. If either of these happen, this is not happening. The target does not exist. And then, yeah, the stats, the conditional, we already looked at that. If no target is specified, if you just go hug without a proper argument in that, what's going to happen is target 1 is going to return as error because there was nothing provided. What that's going to do? Well, guess what? You're just going to give chat a hug. You're going to give all of chat a hug if you don't have an argument. It'll default to the chat. It'll still count towards your hugs given, but yeah, it'll just be the chat if you don't specify a target. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Now, what if you go hug some target that doesn't exist? Then it's going down here. And it's going to tell you, Krista can't find somebody named Target. Krista doesn't know who the heck that person is. That's what's going to happen there. So it has to be somebody that exists still. For now. Didn't I say I was going to change this at some point? Like, I don't know, maybe otherwise, and then I'll just go, Krista gives, nah, I don't know. What if somebody says, spikes? What if somebody puts in spikes? You think you're going to convince Krista to hug spikes? She loves hugging a whole bunch, but she will not hug something that leads to harm, to her getting hurt, so. She's not going to hug somebody spiky because that will probably hurt. Oh my goodness. I forgot all about this particular one. You want a command that does different things depending on what you're playing? Well, yeah. I've got this command right here. Okay, so conditional effects. We already finished Xenoblade Chronicles, so this is never going to happen anymore. But yeah. Category. $category checks like what game/category you're in. So, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Keep in mind, this is case sensitive. If for some dumb reason, like for an example, hold on, Outbreak? No, not Outbreak. Oh, where was it? Fantasy Life. For some reason, Fantasy Life is in all caps, and then the I is not in caps. Yeah, it's case sensitive. I thought Outbreak was in all caps too. I was just about to complain about Outbreak being in all caps. Is it not on this platform? Hold on. Also, have I seriously still not changed my category? Hold on. Well, we're not changing category technically this time. This time we're staying in the just chatting category. I just press the button. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's a... Oh, I was supposed to change a function or a few presets. I see. Okay. Well then. What could we change? That's the question now. Immune, matchmake, no. These already go into presets, so there's no point in putting those into presets. Plans just does a single thing, so we don't have to worry about that. I think raid already goes into a preset, so can't do anything about that. Dang. Okay, which one here? Which one to change? Is watch time already in a preset? I mean, it isn't, but it... Oh, never mind. Yes, it is. Yeah, it already connects to a preset called view time. View is definitely in a preset. That's probably one of my best examples of a preset right there. This is in a very complicated preset, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's complicated. Oh! We might be able to turn convert into preset. We got our Celsius, Fahrenheit, we got our kilometer, mile. Oh, that is also, this is not what that is not the response I want. The only problem with this is, so if I want to instantly change this into, I can convert things to preset lists from here. Thing is, I think I want to turn all of these into a preset. Thinking again, though, no, you know what? There would actually be no point in changing these in the presets. Big reason, we only run these in one area. If you want to change something into a preset, the most useful application of this is, let's say you've got a certain set of tasks and you're having them run in multiple areas. You could just make a preset for it. And if there's like one or two different things that vary, you could just make those arguments. And then you can literally just copy paste the template across several areas and have it work well with a lot less work. We could do it with the sounds, but here's the problem. That's not going to make it any easier for the user. I'm trying to think of the user here, and that's not going to make it any more useful for the user. Oh my goodness. This is, yeah, I was about to say, this is not used anymore. Once upon a time, delayed jump scare was a variable that counted down and then triggered. It was such an inefficient way of doing the delayed jump scare. Ah. Shout out 1. Interesting. Oh. No, that already uses a preset. So what animation does here? I've got salute and I've got wink. Hold on. I think this one I think I can retire this one. I don't think this one has any reason to be used anymore. The exclamation mark animation. Because I do animations right here. What does this run? It runs avatar-animation, which is a preset list. And it'll prompt for arguments here. So what happens if I do animation here? Well, if I click on animation, it's going to say, well, which animation? And then I go H5. I run it. Ah, yes, there we go. That's the crystal one. That's the newest animation, by the way. That's the one that I showed everybody. We streamed making that animation. That frame-by-frame clunky way that I use. Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? Maybe there's some channel rewards. Whoa. Calm down, Windows 11 multi-desktop feature. I could have sworn there was another one that used presets here. Oh, throw. No, not throw. Not throw. There's the secret throw many things, by the way. It just hides there. It waits until you trigger it, and then the two swap out. I think the only thing that these ones do... Ah! Okay. You know what I could do? These two particular functions here are repeat functions. I could make these into presets right here. Let's do that. It's short, it's simple. We're going to scroll down here. I'm going to see what everything is named. And I think I'm just going to call it approve throw. Approve throw and reward ID. Hold on, what were the... Before I even get carried away with that, hold on. What the heck are the two arguments? So, hold on, I'm just going to go over here. Oh, you know what? I should do that with the sound redeems too. Or do they already... no, they already auto-approve afterwards. Okay, reward info. Okay. Reward ID. Oh, reward redemption ID. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Reward redemption ID. Okay, so reward, I think we'll just go RW. Nah. I'm going to do what I was previously going to do. Okay, so new preset. We're going to go approve throw. Auto approve throw. We're going to go reward ID. And we're going to go reward redemption ID. No, we're not going to do it that way because one letter difference is going to throw me off multiple times. So instead, we're going to go reward ID. Reward redemption ID. that's still possibly confusing. So we're going to go reward RDID. I don't like that either. For Pete's sakes. You know what? I'm just going to put in plain text. Reward redeemed. There we go. There. All set. Okay, we're good. Now, this is auto-approve. So, the action we want is approve. Is it capitalized? Yes, it is. I don't know why I capitalized it, but apparently I did. And we're just going to do this. We're going to go redeem. Okay, cool. We got two arguments that we can pass in, and they're passed right into here. This is a very simple preset, which quite honestly, hold on. No. We're going to add the delay too. That'll make it a little more worth it. All the delays are going to be 300 seconds, 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, they get automatically approved. I'm going to put it up here. Okay, cool. So we got a new function. It's auto approve throw. Do I have anything else that says auto? Because I want to sort of group them up with one another. No, I don't. So I guess I'll just leave it down there. Now, I want to do this with all the throws. So, yeah, instead of these two, I'm just going to, if you type in preset, by the way, you can just get run effect list quicker. So run effect list, we're going to go preset. We're going to go down to our brand new function, our auto approve throw right here. And keep in mind, this variable I'm about to use is only available in the edit channel reward area. So I'm going to type in reward, and that should, here we go, reward ID. We're going to pass reward ID into the reward argument right here. This is not available, a nice meteor. This is not available in the preset list itself. So we're going to yank it from this variable here, and we're going to pass whatever is in this data right here. We're going to pass it over to the preset itself. We're transferring it, essentially. Now, the redeem itself. I'm going to type in reward again. That'll narrow things down a little. Reward redemption ID is what we're looking for. So I'm just going to press the little plus button, and that'll add that there for me. Oh, yeah. Also, don't wait for effects to finish, because I don't want to wait for that 300-second delay. Who cares? I want this channel reward thing to just finish up whatever the heck it's doing, and that process can just wait. Okay, cool. We got a run effect list. Keep in mind, once you put something in a preset list and it's already once it has these two, you don't need these two anymore. I disable them just in case something goes terribly wrong. I can revert back if I need to. And I'm going to copy this. Now, the cool part about the way I put this together, this is going to be exactly the same no matter where I put it. So yeah, disable these two. We're going to go down here, and we're going to paste this in here as well. I'm going to move it up because I'm just disabling this. And then we've got summon a meteor. I'm just going to disable, and we're going to paste this in. I'm just going to place it up there. And then we can just apply that to here as well. Apparently, this one... Oh, it's because it's a seasonal redeem. That's why. This one doesn't actually count towards any... Do we have a general items thrown, though? I thought we had a general items thrown. Do we not have a general items thrown? Dream stats. We don't have a general items thrown. We should have a total items thrown, you know? We really should. Maybe we can add that sometime in the future. Or we could do that now. Auto approve throw. So yeah, auto approve throw is just gonna grab the reward ID and throw it into the reward argument. It's gonna grab the redeem here. It's gonna grab the reward redemption ID, and it's gonna throw those both into the auto approve throw. So now, if I go into here, if I go into the throws, which it's going to say it's new again, but it's actually been updated. Twitch is just incapable of saying new. Let's say we throw a thundercloud. It's going to miss me. It's going to stay in that rewards queue for 300 seconds. And it should get dismissed just the same way. We're going to have to wait like 5 minutes to do that, but, you know. Let's just say, you know what? How about I go on my little BRB? I'm going to see what I can do for food here. And then, if it's still a reward queue, we've messed up on something. If it isn't, we're good. Okay, I'm going to go on a quick BRB, everybody. Fetch food. And then I will return in a little bit. Here's a BRB screen. Hopefully you don't get, well, you might get loud lorikeet. Let's see what RNG decides to provide. Back in a bit. Whoops, forgot to stop the music for a moment there. Oh my goodness. I was just talking about going to get to retrieve some food, and someone in our household ordered pizza for everybody. So my goodness. That is such a fun coincidence right there. All right. Well, I'm back. And yeah, had some pizza. So the BRB scene has been doing this a few times now, and I'm wondering what? Why? Why does it not do anything sometimes? So I gotta figure out like what the heck's going on here. So the variation that we had play there, that was the Rainbow Lorikeet one. Ah, Bird Cafe. It would be this one. That's the one we had play out here. That was a weird noise. I think this one just does Lorikeet and that's it. How about this one? Yes, I think that's the Daisy one. I think that's Don't Forget Me. That's a Thunderstorm one. That's Floor 97. Sentient Couch. I think I've seen this one play out. It's happening near the beginning. Whatever the problem is, it's happening near the beginning. Okay, how about this one here? This is the lyre bird. Is a lyrebird one the one that working? We would have to check the break scene here. Like, I'd have to run this, and we'd have to check the break scene. However, if I bring things to the break scene, it could trigger this again. Okay, what's this one supposed to do? Ha ha ha! Right. This is the quick draw one. Does that file still exist? Oh, that's another thing I should be checking here. Does that file exist? Or where is that found? Videos. It's just found in the videos folder, really? Yeah, that's still there. Okay. So, why? Breakpod brand 4, 3, 2, 1. Why? Why did they... Just... Why was 5 the maximum range? So it literally had a 20% chance of rolling a branch that does not exist. I have a 3, I have a 1, I have a 2, I have a 3, and I have a 4. And for some reason, I set the maximum range to 5. You know what happens if 5 rolls? Nothing. Well, that'd explain why the break scene is not working half the time. Or, sorry, 20% of the time. Because it keeps rolling the number that we're not supposed to roll. Alright. Well, we got that all fixed. And we did make a preset. Now, I don't know. Should we make another preset? I am half tempted to just sneak in a game here. But, the better of the question would be, what game? Not any of our series games. We're not doing any of those. I guess for that, are you guys hearing that? Are you guys hearing ghost birds? By the way, this does... Okay, it's gone now. That was interesting. That is a very weird OBS thing. It loaded in during the transition scene, I think. I think that's where we found it. Was it the transition scene? No, the transition scene's quiet now. I don't know why the VOD layer audio loaded into a scene that it's not even... that doesn't even exist in. I don't even know if you heard that, but that was very... Last time I saw it sounded off on OBS, and I went into editing, I actually didn't hear it at all. So, I don't know what the heck. That is a very weird OBS bug. It's like... The monitor and output is output into my ears, but it doesn't actually exist, so it's not actually going up the stream. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. Anyway. I'm gonna see if there's anything that I'm, I don't know, itching to play. Guess I could just play whatever. Oh, you know what we should play? We should play the Kirby Air Raiders Global Tester. Oh, wait a minute. Right. We still gotta wait a couple days before that's playable, and we're gonna be playing Outbreak in a couple days. Secret Mario Kart World stream. Hold on, I'm hearing this twice. Now I'm hearing it once. Do I really want to? I don't know if I really want to. I don't know about that. We will become Shy Guy. Man, I'm so indecisive tonight. Animal Crossing. We could. We definitely could, actually. Mind you, I haven't been back to my island in 1 year, 2 years, ages. Well, hold on. I've also got to edit my array, though, before I do that. Oh, and we got to wait for ads to quit bothering us. Seriously? Why? There we go. Okay, arrays. Oh, should I show you messing around with arrays here, too? Hold on. Gotta go back here. So if you want to know how ridiculously in advance I seem to plan everything, well, yeah. I planned the entire season out, making modifications as things change. This is where we are right now. Oh yeah, and here's the Christmas thing. I already have Christmas sort of planned out. There's not supposed to be anything too crazy with Christmas, aside from the fact that you get to see Krista that entire week. So, hey, if you adore hanging out with Krista, she's taking you on a dating simulator, I guess. The sectoral leader doesn't want anything to do with any of this. He's not interested in this kind of stuff, but Krista definitely is. Ah, yes. Bravely Default Part 10. Oh! We might have seen that. Yeah. Yeah. Special end of year thing. Instead of the monthly Mario Kart. Instead of the monthly Mario Kart World. Yeah. Might be going back a bit. Anyway. I shouldn't have shown the array. Anyways. Ew. Wait, where are we again? We're here, right. Arrays sort of go like this. The entire array is encased in a square bracket. Now, this is how Firebot handles arrays. Keep in mind. But it's sort of similar to the actual format of arrays. So everything is encased in a square bracket right here. Thankfully, any square brackets inside are just treated like regular square brackets because it's within a string. So, every array object needs to be surrounded in quotations. So here's our start quotation. And then we've got the title that you would see before the stream starts. And then the end quote to tell you like everything within here is a string within an array. And then the array object is, well, everything surrounded by the quotations here. There's your comma that tells you that's the end of this. Now we're on to the next object. Then we got this. Next title. Next category. You'll notice that I have things formatted very oddly. Index 0 here, because arrays start at 0. Keep that in mind. Array objects start at 0. This is array object 0 right here. I mean, if you're looking for the actual content of it, though, it's going to ignore the quotes. It's actually going to be like this. Array object 0 is what I set the Twitch title to after the stream is over. It'll tell you what stream is up next at what time. Okay. And so yeah. Then it changes to this title and this category. So index 0 here is what shows before the stream. It actually gets set after the previous stream. So it actually looks one line ahead to here. And it does not change to the subject at the end. However, for some weird reason, when I set a new title via Firebot, it adds a second English tag for some stupid reason. I don't know why. There's no way to actually have an effect instruct what tags to assign, so I don't know why. It just does that for some reason. Welcome back from ads, everybody. We're talking about arrays now. Yeah. Then, when I tell it to change topics, which I am supposed to do before the stream starts, it assigns the title to array object index 1. This is index 1 here. This is the first. That's the 0th array object back there. That is object 0. This is object 1. And it will assign the topic to object 2, which is just chatting. When I press the advance button again, it's going to pull the title from the third object, which is here. And it's going to pull the topic from the fourth object. This is how I got the automation of title switch it. Well, technically, I still have to press a button for it. But it's basically button changes topic. So, if I need to make a change, for instance, we're sneaking, I don't know, a tiny bit of Animal Crossing. We're going to go, comma, sneaking in, secret, stream. And I'm going to put a question mark because I'm just as confused as you are. Okay, cool. That's the title for the next one. I don't know if it's actually... Thankfully, when the title's in the array here, you don't have to worry about casing that much. However, why do I get the feeling that there's like something... Hold on. New Horizons. Did I spell it right? New Horizons. Oh, you know what? I think the casing is exactly like that. Good. That's the way more games should be. They shouldn't randomly caps lock a word. Alright, so. Save the file. And I'm just going to send it back to where I had it previously. There's just other files that I'm not going to be showing.